Hello everybody, my name is Matt Estlea and I am a furniture maker and online content creator on YouTube. And at some point in 2019, I am going to be coming to an Axminster store near you to demonstrate things such as hand-cut joints, how to set up a plane, various hand tool techniques, maybe even power tool techniques possibly. I don't know, we'll see. But I thought before you start thinking who the blimmin' hell's this scruffy-haired weirdo on my screen, I thought I would share a few things about myself and hopefully encourage you to come along, hang out and maybe learn a thing or two. So a quick little history lesson about myself. I started woodworking 7 years ago and I did so by enrolling in a course at Rycotewood Furniture Centre in Oxford, where I studied City and Guilds level 1, 2 and 3 furniture making for a total of 2 years. And then progressing from that, I studied a foundation degree in furniture making for a further 2 years on top of that. And then I studied a Bachelor of Arts degree in furniture making for my 5th year of study. Alongside that, I was a sales advisor at Axminster Tools in Basingstoke. So Rycotewood gave me the practical knowledge around woodworking. Axminster gave me a lot of the theory and the sort of tool knowledge and everything like that. So both of those things gave me tons of experience, and as a result, I've got lots and lots of knowledge to share with you. Now, I graduated from Rycotewood 2 years ago, and I am now a teacher there, teaching the City and Guilds course that I studied 7 years ago, which is quite interesting. And also, I'm no longer a sales advisor at Axminster Tools as of earlier this year. However, I am now a demonstrator for them, traveling around to different stores or maybe going to different events on behalf of Axminster, which is really cool. Interesting question, very, very interesting question. Did I intend to be here, or was this just a fluke? A little bit of both, to be honest. Let me explain. I started woodworking with the intention of making it a career that I could wake up each morning and look forward to actually going to work. So as a stroppy teenager at 16 years old, waking up to go to college each day to learn, I think a lot of people that age struggle with it, but me, I was up and ready to go every single day. However, as my course progressed, it started becoming more and more apparent that I would not necessarily be able to do exactly what I wanted to do in there, because I would have to be working to client specifications. I'd have to be working with designers and things like that. And imagining that was where it started taking the enjoyment away from it for me, and I needed a escape plan. So in my 4th year at Rycotewood, that was when I started the YouTube channel. And the intention of that was creating a way for me to do what I want to do, capture that on camera and then share that with the wider world and somehow make an income from it. There wasn't a grand plan or anything like that. I just knew that other people were doing it and I knew it was possible. So I just jumped straight in and started doing it. So it was a little bit of luck, and there was a little bit of intention behind it as well. The reason I got into furniture making in the first place was through an assistant teacher I had during secondary school who made bespoke boxes, and they were just amazing. And when I told him that I was interested in making that my career or fine woodworking, he told me that I'll probably never make millions, but I'll never have to work a day in my life. And this is something, I don't take it word for word, but it's something that I try and instill in my current students. Most of them are 16 to 18 years old, and to be honest, not a lot of them are going to come out of it and be furniture makers at the end of it. I mean, there's people on the degree course who are going to go into it and not be furniture makers at the end of it. That's not down to skill or anything like that. Some of them would be absolutely amazing in the industry, but it might not be for them. That's the case with a lot of courses. So what I try and teach my current students is to just enjoy it. I don't inflict all these rules and stuff upon them that are just going to keep beating them down and sort of stop that creativity from happening. I just want them to get in there, have a bit of fun and just enjoy that process of making, because in the digital age, with all these computers and stuff surrounding us, it's going to be harder and harder to actually get that sense of enjoyment from making stuff in the future. So by ingraining that in as many people as possible at that age, hopefully that will make a little bit of a difference. Yes, it most certainly has. When I started off on YouTube, I went in there all guns blazing, absolutely no plan whatsoever. And I would just stand in front of the camera and just chat absolute rubbish and maybe eventually start getting a little bit of information in there. Teaching Having to kind of plan lessons and know what I'm doing throughout the day has helped my YouTube videos quite a lot. I now give myself a little list of things that I need to cover. I also go to other people's videos, look in the comment section to see what questions are still being asked after they've watched that video, so I can learn from other people's mistakes. Now, these videos aren't planned word for word. I give myself a loose sort of thing to kind of abide by, to stop myself going off on all these different tangents. So my biggest challenge when starting on YouTube was getting the camera placed in front of me to start with. Like, I started the YouTube channel while I was in the middle of a degree course when there was 50 other students surrounding me, and I was that one with the tripod, plonking it down in different places in the workshop, getting in people's way, and yeah, like I was that person, and that was the biggest challenge for me, getting over that hurdle of looking like an absolute weirdo for the first few weeks. But that's the point. It's only for the first few weeks. I think after week 3, it started becoming normal. Like, I was just known for being that guy with the camera, and it was all good. But starting out, that was definitely the hardest bit. Have I had any criticism? Oh yes, I have had plenty of criticism. This is the thing, as soon as you put yourself out there online, you are going to get hate back. That is just an inevitable part of it, but it is also a sign that what you're doing is right. So how do I deal with it? Well, if I'm getting criticism and it's constructive, I take it, like, that's fine. Constructive criticism is what's developed this channel over the years. It's how I've become a better teacher, it's how I've become a better woodworker. Constructive criticism is one of the foundations of all learning. However, when it comes down to criticism which is not constructive, that's where it starts becoming interesting, and people deal with this differently. Some try to ignore it, some people try to report it online, but as we all know, reporting stuff online doesn't really get anywhere. So what I do is I name and shame them, or I turn it round and make them look like an absolute idiot. The way I do this is through a monthly update that I do on my YouTube channel every month, and I have a segment in it called Hater of the Month, and I share my best bit of hate, and I share my comeback and the subsequent conversation afterwards. Usually ends up in them getting frustrated, and they delete their comment, they go off in a huff trying to bring someone else down instead. That's my advice for dealing with it. Just laugh at them, stare them right in the face, and just make them look like the idiot that they are. Yes, I feel the pressure of uploading every 3 days. However, that is a self-inflicted schedule, and the reason for that is because I would be very lazy without it. Saying that, all that stress that you get from having to upload on those days is completely worth it. As soon as those first comments start trickling through and you start getting all that nice feedback from all the people who appreciate the effort that you put into it, it's all worth it by that point. It's all worth it. What advice would I give to someone wanting to be an online personality? Don't do it to be an online personality. It's my answer to that. Do it, as I said earlier, do it for the enjoyment. If you go in there wanting fame, if you go in there wanting money, then you're going to get absolutely nowhere, and people are probably going to dislike you for it. You're going to do the reverse. Go in there to learn, go in there to share, and just be yourself on camera, and you'll get a lot more from it. Like, I hate the term influencer. Ugh. Okay, maybe through my reviews, maybe through my tutorials, maybe through my projects, I may influence someone to purchase something. But in my mind, as soon as you start calling yourself an influencer, I feel like you've lost all sense of integrity, really. That's my view on it. Maybe that's not the right way of looking at it. But go in there to share your personality online, rather than be an online personality, because those things are, they're completely different. How do I not feel overwhelmed by competition on YouTube? Don't look at the competition as competition. They are people who, they're your friends. They're people who you can learn from, collaborate with, share your experiences with. As soon as you call someone competition, then you're essentially putting up a wall and just saying, you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing. Just bounce off each other. Like, we're all in this for one thing, or I'm in this for one thing, and it's just to enjoy myself. Share my experiences and just share what's going on. I'm not going in this trying to nick other people's views and stuff like that. And even if I was, viewers, when they're trying to learn something, most of the time they'll end up watching a tutorial on a subject, and then they'll end up watching a tutorial by someone else just to get more knowledge. There is enough viewers for everyone. You don't need to try and get all of them into a big huddle, because one, you're not going to do that, and two, you're just going to close yourself off to everyone, to be honest. Like, if you want to come into YouTube and try and avoid all the competition and try and find your own little niche in it, it's going to be very, very difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's going to be difficult to try and get like a very specific subject on something and get enough people to watch it. I mean, for example, my friend introduced me to a channel that was solely focused on mowing lawns the other day. That is literally what the channel was. Could you imagine coming up with this amazing idea that's like, wow, okay, I'm going to create really satisfying videos on just mowing grass and making it like 0.8 millimeters tall consistently across an acre of land. And then you go onto YouTube and you see someone else has already done it. That might shoot some people down, or you could just go on it. Maybe you'll be a little bit more exciting than the guy who was previously doing it. And as a result, a lot of viewers will prefer to watch someone who's more upbeat about what they're doing. Or maybe you'll be the more mellow version of the guy who's already doing it. And some of his viewers will be like, oh yeah, I can't actually stand this guy's energy. He's too jumpy. He's got too much going on. I want someone who's just a lot more relaxing to watch. And yeah, I'll watch this guy instead. By just being yourself online, you're going to naturally gravitate people rather than just sort of like lasso people and force them in. It won't work. So in the Axminster stores this year, I'm going to be demonstrating a whole host of things. I think primary subjects will be sharpening, tool setup, and hand cut joints. And within each of those topics, there will be opportunities for you to ask questions and maybe even get involved. But that's not to say that I can't do individual demonstrations or specific demonstrations on topics you'd like to see, providing I have the resources available, of course. But around those primary subjects, I'm happy to steer it in whatever way is necessary. And also, I'm more than willing to get my old sales advisor hat back on and help you choose the right power tool, help you choose the right hand tool, the right machine for you. We're going to be in a store that's going to be filled with equipment, and I am more than willing to give you advice on stuff that I think will be suitable for you. I've had 5 years experience in the sales side of it, and I've had 7 years experience in the practical side of things. So I think I could give some quite helpful advice to those of you that need it. Yeah, that'd be quite fun. That'd be fun. So if you're into woodworking, if you're into furniture making, or maybe it's something you're not too sure on, you just want to have a look and maybe see what it's all about, then please come along to one of my demonstrations at one of the Axminster stores later this year. All the dates for the individual stores will be linked in this blog post, and it's worth knowing that they are free to attend. There will also be coffee available there as well for free. So yeah, just come along for a few hours, maybe learn a thing or two, and yeah, let's just hang out for a bit. So if you want to know more about what I do, then just search for me on YouTube. You'll see that I do things like the projects, tutorials, reviews. I do a series called Tool Duel, where I get a tool that's manufactured by 2 different brands, compare it against one another and see which one is best. So I present it all in a very relaxed style, he says, while sitting down. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to meeting you. So pop those dates in your calendar and I'll see you soon.